Good morning, children. Welcome all. We are going to start the second semester classes with Unit 1. This is the syllabus of the first unit in your second semester. It is about water and interactions of water. Of course, you might have studied them in chemistry also, but we are going to study it in a biochemical aspect. And we have the acid-base reactions, and we have the Ka and pK values, and basic ideas about hydrogen bonding and interactions, etc. Because all those things are applicable in a biochemical system as well. You see, this is actually a water molecule. You know that water is H2O, and water is actually polar molecule. The hydrogens are having a small positive charge, delta positive, and oxygen atom is having a delta negative charge. And this is the structure of sodium chloride. You know that sodium chloride or table salt is soluble in water. You see what happens to sodium chloride when it is dissolving in water. Sodium chloride is actually splitting into sodium positive ions and chloride negative ions. The positive part of the water molecule, which are actually the hydrogen atoms, are coming in contact with the chloride negative ions. At the same time, the negative part of the water molecule, that is the oxygen atom, is coming in contact with that sodium positive ion. So it is basically an attraction between oppositely charged particles. This is the basic secret behind dissolution of a polar compound in water. And water is actually said to be a universal solvent. Why is it a universal solvent? This is the basic reason, and we are going to see it in detail in this class. So you see, sodium ions and chloride ions are separating from each other during its dissolution in water. The ordered crystalline structure which is present in the solid state is no more when it is dissolved in water. See, water as a solvent. The same is the case what we found just now, that the negative part of the solute is interacting with the positive part of water molecule and vice versa. This is why water is able to dissolve practically most of the polar solutes. See, water dissolves many crystalline salts by hydrating. This term is very important. By hydrating their component ions. Sodium chloride crystal lattice is disrupted as water molecules cluster about the chloride negative and sodium positive ions. The ionic charges are partially neutralized and electrostatic attractions are necessary for the lattice formation. I mean, the electrostatic attractions which are necessary for the lattice formation are weakened, ultimately leading to dissolution of the solute in water. Water as the universal solvent. One of the most important substances on water, on earth, is actually water. It can dissolve many different varieties of substances, and water is a polar molecule because of its unequal charge distribution. You see, hydrogen has a delta positive charge and oxygen has a delta negative charge. You know that this bond between oxygen and hydrogen is actually a covalent bond. But since these component atoms differ in their electronegativity, which means oxygen is slightly electronegative, it attracts the bonded pair of electrons slightly towards it, thereby developing a delta negative charge. And since the bonded pair of electrons is moving away from the hydrogen atom, this hydrogen atom is getting a delta positive charge. Look here, the bond angle between these two hydrogen atoms is 105 degrees Celsius, especially important in the process of dissolving. You see here, one of the most important property of water is to act as a solvent, and this water molecule has a bend shape. In the previous figure also we found HOH bend is there. And what about the degree of bending? Is it really 105? Let us see. Here the angle is no, it's given here. It is really 105-degree angle. And water is polar, thus having partial negative and positive regions. So water is a universal solvent. Because of this polarity in the water molecule, it is developing weak interactions in any system, any solution, any compound where this water is present. What are the different types of weak interactions? Why do we say they are weak interactions? Because their bond strength is considerably less compared to a covalent bond. Hydrogen bond is an example, ionic bonds are there, hydrophobic interactions are there, and van der Waals forces are there. These are the different types of weak interactions. Individually, each of these bonds of attraction is very, very weak. They are easily formed and they are easily disrupted. But when thousands and thousands of such bonds are present in a molecule, in a compound, it is really having a great effect upon the physical and chemical properties of that compound. And most of the biological molecules are existing in their native structure because of these weak interactions. Of course, you know that covalent bonds are also playing vital bonds. You see, these attractions influence the three-dimensional structure of biomolecules such as proteins, nucleic acids, polysaccharides, membrane lipids, etc. And the first case is that of hydrogen bonds. Hydrogen bonds between water molecules provide cohesive forces, forces of attraction that make water a liquid at room temperature, that favor extreme ordering of molecules that is typical of crystalline water, that is ice. In ice also there is a crystalline structure and that structure is stabilized by weak interactions. When this ice is absorbing energy, this ice is converted or transformed into liquid water and of course some of these bonds are broken. And polar biomolecules dissolve readily in water because they can replace water-water interactions with more energetically favorable water solute interactions. You see, only when water molecules are available in a vessel, these water molecules are interacting among each other. You know that the negative part of a molecule can attract the positive part of another molecule and vice versa. But when we add a solute into it, this water is going to interact with the solute and these water solute interactions are more favorable energetically compared with the water-water interactions. Therefore, water molecules prefer solute, leading to dissolving of that solute in that water. But what about non-polar biomolecules? They interfere with the water-water interactions and they are unable to form water solute interactions. Therefore, non-polar molecules are poorly soluble in water. Why? Because water solute interactions or interaction between polar water and non-polar solute is actually not taking place. And therefore, in aqueous solutions, non-polar molecules tend to cluster together. Actually, you know it very well from your practical experience in your life. What happens if a drop of oil is added to water? When you are preparing curries, etc., you are adding oil. Do you believe that the oil is really mixing with water? No. The oil is forming a separate layer. It is never mixing with water. This is the reason. Actually, we are boiling our different food preparations. Still, even if you are boiling to the very high temperature possible, still oil and water do not mix together. They form separate layers. And you know that oil will float on the surface of water primarily because oil is lighter than water. Its density is less than that of water. Let us come to hydrogen bonding. Many of the unusual properties of water are because of hydrogen bonding. Water has a high melting point, high boiling point and high heat of vaporization. Why? Because of attraction between adjacent water molecules by means of hydrogen bonding. Each hydrogen atom of water shares an electron pair with the central oxygen atom. You know that it is by means of a covalent bond. And the geometry of the molecule is dictated by shape of the outer electron orbital of the oxygen atom. And this outer electron orbital of the oxygen atom is in the actually they are similar to the sp3 bonding orbitals of carbon. You know that sp3, sp2, etc. are there, different types of bonding orbitals are there in carbon depending upon the number of carbon-carbon bonds. Here in water molecule, the electron orbital, the outer electron orbital of oxygen atom is similar to that of a carbon atom bearing sp3 bonding, hybridization. These orbitals describe a rough tetrahedron with oxygen atom at the two corners of the unshared electron pairs. I told you that the HOH bond angle is around 105 degree. Actually, it is 104.5 degree. It is slightly less than the 109.5 of a perfect tetrahedron. Why? Because of the crowding by the non-bonding orbitals of oxygen atom. So make a note of this bond angle. The hydrogen bond. Oxygen nucleus attracts electrons more strongly than does the hydrogen nucleus. Therefore, as I told you earlier, oxygen is electronegative. Therefore, the sharing of the electrons between the hydrogen and the oxygen is unequal. These electrons are more close towards oxygen than towards hydrogen. This develops an electric dipole. One dipole between one oxygen hydrogen bond. So there are actually two dipoles. Therefore, there is an electrostatic attraction between the oxygen atom of one water molecule and the hydrogen atoms of another water molecule. And this force of attraction is what is called a hydrogen bond. Look here, whatever I told you just now is there. Oxygen has slight negative, hydrogens have slight positive. This is one molecule of water, another molecule of water. Look here, this between this oxygen and this hydrogen, there's a force of attraction. This is what is called hydrogen bond, and the 0.177 is the length of this 0.177 nanometer is the length of this hydrogen bond. While look at the covalent bond between oxygen and hydrogen, it is 0.0965, which is longer covalent bond or hydrogen bond. And hydrogen bonds are relatively weak. See, the bond dissociation energy, the energy required to break a bond is about 23 kilojoule per mole, while it is 470 is actually between an oxygen hydrogen covalent bond, while it is 348 between a carbon-carbon covalent bond. So you see the bond energy of a hydrogen bond is just 23 kilojoule per mole. It is only a fraction of actually of a covalent bond. The hydrogen bond is about 10% covalent due to overlapping in the bonding orbitals, and it is about 90% electrostatic. So the sum total of all these hydrogen bonds actually confers internal cohesion on liquid water. In liquid water, the molecules are so close together because of this hydrogen bonding. Extended network of hydrogen bonded water molecules form bridges between solutes. In the biochemical system, the solutes are proteins, nucleic acids, carbohydrates, etc. that allow larger molecules to interact with each other over distances of several nanometers without physically touching. We will see that in a diagram. Actually, we have a diagram. We will come to that later. without touching each other. How the hydrogen bonds are successful in establishing long chain of water molecules. The nearly tetrahedral arrangement of the orbitals about the oxygen atom allows each water molecule to form hydrogen bonds with about 4 neighboring water molecules. While in liquid water at room temperature and atmospheric pressure, one water molecule is forming hydrogen bonds with only 3.4 other molecules. And what about this one? This is about solid water, that means ice. You see, in ice, water molecule is actually fixed. Breaking a sufficient proportion of the hydrogen bonds to destabilize the crystal lattice of the ice requires much more thermal energy. That's why water has a very high melting point. When water is melting, the hydrogen bonds between many of the water molecules is broken by means of the extra heat energy it is absorbing. When ice melts or water evaporates, heat is taken up by the system, and this heat taken up by the system is used for breaking the hydrogen bonds. You can see here hydrogen bonding in ice lattice. You can see here oxygen and hydrogen bonding is there. Just try to understand from this figure with how many water molecules any given water molecule is establishing hydrogen bond. Also try to understand from which textbook is this figure taken. You have this textbook with you actually. And water forms hydrogen bonds with polar solutes. We will see it in another slide.